my book and wax friends. I'm Amber if you're new. I'm so glad you're here with me. Welcome or welcome back if you are returning. I do post about book and home fragrance stuff, and today's video is the books that are coming out in July. These are the ones that interest me the most. They're my most anticipated, so I want to go through them. There are fantasy, cozy fantasy, as you know if you've been here. Those are my favorite. But there are some surprises. I think I have a thriller in this list, and so there are a few surprises. So let's get into it. The first one I have to share with you is called The Fair Witch of Fox Holler, and this is by Ellen Polly Goff, I think, or Joff, depends on how she pronounces it. It comes out July 7th, and let's read the synopsis together. This is a cozy fantasy. It says, Steel Magnolias meets practical magic in this charming contemporary fantasy debut in which a 30-something kitchen witch whose recipes have the power to heal is recruited to help a reclusive warlock and discovers love on the other side of the next bake. So it says, self-taught chef and baker Honey Frost is Fox Holler's resident fair witch, proud of her family's legacy for curing all manner of ailments with the right recipe. Honey is determined to be the fair witch the Holler can depend on, even if she's taken on the role 20 years too early. Honey's normal routine is disrupted when the reclusive warlock living at the edge of the Holler appears for the first time in decades with a peculiar request. He needs a fair witch. It seems the warlock has been struck by a mysterious curse-born illness. Initially reluctant to get involved, warlocks and witches do not get along. Honey changes her mind when he offers compensation that she can't refuse. Access to his infamous library of old text and kitchen grimoires. Now Honey is the newest resident of his moody farmhouse, Night Manor, which happens to have one gorgeous kitchen and lots of secrets, and a warlock that maybe isn't so frightful at all, or old, or bad looking. Curing people should a piece of hummingbird cake for any fair witch, but the grumpy farmhouse and the even grumpier warlock aren't keen to help with their own healing. So that's fun. That sounds really fun, and it looks like the house might be sentient, which is a lot of fun. I do enjoy that a lot. So that one looks like it's going to be adorable. So that is The Fair Witch of Fox Holler. Okay, the next one after that is called Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt. This is by Ben Reeves, and it also comes out July 7th. And this one I think is, okay, so has magical realism, but it is a literary fiction as well. So let's see what this one is about. Travis is deaf in the modern world. He wears jeans and a t-shirt and lives in a small gray town. His job is to offer people comfort in their final hours of life. He's stoic, gentle, and a little naive, despite everything he knows. He's young and handsome, despite who he is. Each death he witnesses is meaningful to him. He listens, never judges, and most importantly, never tries to change anyone's fate. He knows that every life must eventually end to maintain the balance of the universe, and he respects that cycle. Then he meets Dahlia, a midwife, and her boisterous 8-year-old daughter, Layla, who lives across the hall. As Dahlia and Layla comes to embrace Travis, it becomes more difficult to maintain that detachment that allowed him to function for so long. Their time together teaches him what's truly important in life and what might be irrevocably lost in death. It says, written with radiant warmth, wisdom, and compassion, Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt is a timeless story about appreciating life, accepting its end, and finding our place in the universe, especially when it feels most impossible. So that sounds so good. It's making me tear up already. If you guys know, I have a very soft heart. And so even reading the synopsis has me feeling a little choked up. So that one does interest me, but it'll probably make me cry, I have a feeling. But it does sound really good. Okay, the next one is a new book by Freya Sampson, and it's called Most Ardently Yours. And this also comes out July 7th. Freya Sampson has written quite a few books. A lot of hers have like protagonists that are older, which are really fun and have that found family element. But this one does seem a little bit different. So let's see what this is about. So this says it is a contemporary romance. It says it has magical realism in it. It says romance, chick lit, fantasy, contemporary romance. So let's see. So this is inspired by actually Pride and Prejudice, which makes sense with the name of the title. Okay, so it says it's a laugh out loud romance inspired by Jane Austen's beloved Pride and Prejudice that begs the question, what if your book boyfriend jumped from the pages of their story and into your life? Let's see. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single woman in possession of many romance novels must be in want of a book boyfriend. Zoe Knight, a struggling romance writer, has sworn off men for good, at least the ones in real life. Once a believer in a happily ever after, she now curbs her loneliness with the help of the best book boyfriends in literature. And there is no one better than Jane Austen's Mr. Darcy. So when she stumbles into a classic London bookshop and argues with an annoyingly attractive store owner, Nick, who refuses to sell romance novels, she decides to liberate him of his dusty copy of Pride and Prejudice abandoned on the top shelf. But this is no ordinary book. After reading from the pages, Zoe finds herself in a remarkable situation. She has accidentally summoned the Mr. Darcy into the real world. Now she's face to face with the man she's loved forever, and he's everything she dreamed he would be. Handsome, check. Brooding, check. Talks like he swallowed a thesaurus, check. And check. But even in his Regency perfection, can he ever be as good as in the novel? And if he's here in her London apartment trying to figure out how to work a shower, what will happen to the literary world he came from? With Nick, the last man she could ever be prevailed upon to work with, urging her to send the fictional Darcy back to his own story, Zoe will have to decide what she really wants from a happy ending before it's too late. That sounds so cute. It reminds me a little bit of a book I just read this month called The Book Witch, a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. But that sounds so cute, so fun. And like I said, I've read one book by Freya Sampson, and I really did enjoy it. That was Nosy Neighbors. That was a fun one. And so this one I am looking forward to. Most Ardently Yours. Okay, the next one is also a cozy fantasy, it looks like, and it's called The Moon Singers. This is by Robin J. Pritzker, and it comes out July 14th. Let's see what this one is. In a quiet glen beyond the reach of the railway lives a peculiar family who knows the best magic is the kind found in ordinary moments. When Ismay Gebhardt is dismissed from yet another teaching position after an unfortunate accident, which everyone survived, she accepts a last chance job as a private tutor in sleepy Glen Maidens village. The town is brimming with natural beauty, uncanny traditions, and earnest locals. None more unusual than her three young pupils, the Underhill sisters, and their puzzling father. Determined to make herself useful after several catastrophic lessons with the unbiddable girls, Ismay writes to the Transport Bureau suggesting an extension to the train line, hoping to bring Glen Maiden into modern times. As usual, Ismay's good intentions lead to chaos with the arrival of the Bureau's frustratingly thorough officer, Hamish Breck, whose railway plans threaten not only the Glen's tranquility, but also the ancient oak tree at its heart. Amidst the mess of her own making, Ismay unearths Glen Maiden's enchanted secret. The Underhills, like many villagers, are fairies who settled in the mortal world in search of a gentler life, and the oak is their only bridge back to the moonlit realm of the fantastic. That sounds so good. Oh, that sounds so good. Cozy fantasy. Sounds so good. The Moon Singers. And look at the cover. It's adorable. Okay, next up. This is a sequel, but I think it's like a standalone sequel. They're like interconnected. The first book is Never the Roses, and this one's called Among the Thorns by Jennifer K. Lambert. It comes out July 14th. And I haven't gotten around to reading Never the Roses yet, although I've heard such good things about it, so I do want to get to it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I am interested in this one, and since it is just an interconnected book, I think it would be fine to read the synopsis. So let's look at it together. So this is a fantasy, adult fiction, fantasy romance. So this says, two sorceresses of unrivaled potential clash to claim the greater fate in the heart of Prince Charming in this deliciously romantic fantasy set in the world of Never the Roses. So ambitious young sorceress Rose of Northbrook is about to graduate. She's the only known dream sorcerer of her generation, and she's a remarkable one. Formidable, powerful, strikingly beautiful, and destined for greatness. No wonder she has a prince of the realm trailing her skirts. But when rumors of dream magic gone awry reach her ears, Rose discovers she's not the only one. What is that called? Iromancer? I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but that's what it is. If I remember, I'll put it right here on so you can see what it is. And she might not be the most powerful. In a faraway cottage, Thorn has lived a simple and isolated life. She's kept hidden by magic that prevents her from wandering past the cottage fence. Thorn longs to be a part of the world, to learn more about her magic, to be rescued by a prince who could love her with his whole heart. When she discovers there's another dream sorceress out there who has everything Thorn has ever wanted, freedom, education, prince and all, her acceptance of her isolation transforms into hunger for everything she has been denied. Everything Rose has. When Rose and Thorn meet, they realize their lives have been a lie, and their fates have been carefully planned by political schemers. The outcome is only one sorceress can live in the open, reap all the glory of her kingdom, and claim the prince's loving hand, condemning the other to a life of perpetual non-existence. So that sounds really good. Obviously, it looks like there'll be a love triangle. I'm hit and miss with love triangles, but this one sounds really interesting, the storyline. So I am looking forward to that one. After I read the first one, even though it's different characters, I still feel like I need to read the first one. After that is the third book in the Grandest Games series. This is The Gilded Blade by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I think it's the final book in the series. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think it is. So this is a continuation of the Inheritance Games books, and it comes out July 14th, 2026. And I don't know if I should really read much about this. Oh, it doesn't have a big synopsis. All games must come to an end. So it looks like it is the final one. In the stunning finale of the global phenomenon of the Inheritance Games saga, discover danger, riches, romance, and the staggering answers to long brewing mysteries. So I really am enjoying this series, not as much as the Inheritance Games, the original trilogy, but I'm still enjoying it. And I want to see certain characters actually get a happily ever after, because they didn't get it in the first trilogy. And so I'm hoping they get it in this one. That's all I'm going to say. It is a fun series. I definitely say read the original trilogy first, though, before you continue on to the newest ones. But, so this is a YA mystery thriller, and it has, like, where they have to solve puzzles and stuff like that. So it's a fun one, for sure. Okay, after that, I have one that is like does it have what it is? Another mystery thriller, but this is a romantic suspense, has a magical realism type of mystery thriller. It sounds really good. So it is called If Books Could Kill, and this is by Kate Eberly, and it comes out July 21st. So let's see what this one is about. Okay, so it says a novel love story meets love in the time of serial killers. In this rom-com following Roxy Mitchell, an adventure-loving romance reader who finds herself trapped in a meet-cute turned murderess. When Roxy makes a tongue-in-cheek wish to live out the plot of her favorite author's next novel, she has romance in mind, namely the sweet, safe, swoon-worthy storylines Anna Matthews is known for. It should be a dream come true when her wish is granted, and she finds herself swept into a first date with a handsome stranger who seems designed to take her breath away, except for one little hiccup. That handsome stranger tries to take her breath away, literally, with a knife. The thing is, Roxy may be the new Anna Matthews protagonist, but this time Anna is writing a crime thriller. Thrown into a perilous genre she's never read, Roxy is desperate for help. So when her escape takes her straight into the path of Grant Hoffman, an anxious English professor with a convenient love of crime novels, she decides that kidnapping a grown man is a small price to pay for her own survival. Together, Roxy and Grant navigate a madcap story where the lines between fiction and reality blur. That sounds so fun. So that is If Books Could Kill. The next one, so this one, I guess, did come out in Australia last summer, but it's coming out here in the United States anyway, this summer. So I'm counting it as a new release because technically for us it is a new release. And it is called The Story Keeper by Kelly Rimmer. And I think the name in Australia was something different. I'm gonna look real quick. The name in Australia that it was released as is The Midnight Estate, but here in the US is called The Story Keeper. So, and it comes out July 21st. So this is categorized as a historic fiction, mystery thriller, book about books. So sounds good, and it takes place in Australia, which is really cool. Okay, in the aftermath of a tumultuous year, Fiona Winslow finds solace in the decaying grandeur of Wurrumbira, the rambling family estate she once called home. Intent on restoring it, she discovers the keys to more than just the dilapidated mansion. Beneath the crumbling plaster and dust are secrets that have been buried for a generation. When a curious book, The Midnight Estate, catches her attention, in her late uncle's library, Fiona is plunged into a tale that mirrors her own, a story of love, loss, and betrayal. But as the lines between fiction and reality blur, Fiona must ask herself, is the true mystery the one hidden within the walls of her ancestral home, or is it within the pages of a book that chose her as much as she chose it? So it says it's told in a dual narrative and set against the Gothic backdrop of Warrenbira. So yeah, it sounds good. So a book within a book type of mystery. It sounds like it could be good. I am always a fan of stories that have to do with books, and this sounds like it could be really good. So that is The Story Keeper. Then the next one, this is the one I'm most excited about. I pre-ordered it the second it was announced, and that is Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst. It is the third book in her Spell Shop series. They are cozy fantasy series, highly recommend. I loved both the Spell Shop and the Enchanted Greenhouse, and I am so looking forward to this. Doesn't this cover look summery? It totally looks like it's summer. So let us see. So they're interconnected. They connect to each other because they're all in the same world, and there are characters that overlap, but they're not necessarily ones that you would be confused if you don't read the other books, I would say. So I'm going to read the synopsis so you can know what this one is about. So Marin is a supply runner with her own boat that she sails from island to island, delivering whatever anyone will pay her to deliver. Letters, flour, even the occasional enchanted lemur. It's a lonely life, but it's hers, and she wouldn't trade the freedom of the sea for anything. Her only companion is a sea serpent, Perry, whom she saved from a fisherfolk's net. One day she sailed to Elysium and discovers the city is on fire. There's been a revolution and the empire has fallen. Marin, with Perry, begins transporting refugees, finding them new homes where they can start over. One such refugee is Dax, a composer who refuses to leave behind his instruments, no matter how much she tries to emphasize the gravity of the situation. Intrigued by his stubbornness, his passion for stories, and his charming smile, Marin discovers perhaps she isn't saving him. Maybe it's the other way around. So cute. Oh, that sounds so fun. And there is also another sentient plant, I know, that's going to be in this one on the boat with her because of the second book. So I'm excited. So cute. This is one that I'm hoping to read like immediately when I get it. So that is Sea of Charms. Did I say when it comes out? July 28th is when it comes out. All right, then last but not least is another, there's a lot of cozy fantasies this time around, but as I said, you saw there were others that weren't cozy fantasy. So this one is, called Theodora's Tea Shop. It is by Christy Ann Jones, and it also comes out July 28th. And yes, cozy fantasy, historical fiction, historical fantasy. Okay, let's see. A richly imagined, dark and dazzling cozy fantasy about learning to love ourselves by wondrous new Australian novelist, Christy Ann Jones. So another one, I'm assuming, set in Australia, which is really cool. Dorothy Louise Walcott should have died when she was 14. Instead, she grew into a timid young woman, frugal, ill, overeducated, and dreaming ceaselessly of running away to learn magic. When she hears of a woman who might apprentice her, she sets off on a journey to Aliaster, a city where spirits play cards with kings. That's fun. Dot is determined to find the witch Theodora, empress of an underground syndicate, peddling magic from the quaint facade of her tea shop. Sounds so fun. Theodora is everything Dot wants to be. Beautiful, witty, confident. However, Dot's arrival heralds the unearthing of Theodora's eldritch secrets, threatening to topple the witch's empire and to take both with it. Theodora's Tea Shop is an atmospheric 1920s inspired fantasy novel about magic, friendship, and of course, tea. It features twists and turns, found families, monstrous women, many heartfelt and cozy moments, and a creepy demon who owns a department store. If you love Howl's Moving Castle, you'll adore this book. That sounds so fun. So it sounds like Theodora then is not a good person is what it seems like. It seems like maybe she's part of a mafia regime almost. That sounds really, really fun. And I did really enjoy Howl's Moving Castle. So that's it, you guys. Those are some books that I'm really looking forward to in the month of July. Let me know if any of these sound good to you. And let me know if there are ones that I didn't talk about that are on your list of most anticipated books that are coming out in July. Because, of course, I could have missed stuff, obviously. There's hundreds of books that come out each month, and I can't talk about them all, but those are some that I am really looking forward to. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe for more book and home fragrance content. And until next time, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate all of you for watching and commenting and subscribing and liking my videos. It all means so much to me. Take care. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.